clap. Yes. And you're recording?
Hold up. Okay. I'm ready.
Got a bad bitch coming through now. What's the hold up? Thank you, John. And hello, John.
Hello, Alexandra.
Oh my God. Episode 1.
Okay, so we have to be honest.
Yes.
It's episode 2.
It's episode 2 to us, but episode 1 to everyone else.
It's episode 1 of podcast 2.0.
And what is this podcast?
So, welcome to On the Curb.
Take your binz out.
Take your binz out. Was formerly known as the junk drawer.
Formerly,
except
time no capsule.
But when seeking to get like the rights to the name, we saw that there were at least 10 other podcasts called Junk Drawer on YouTube and Spotify.
Yes.
Which we will be on the curb. We will be competing with Wow Presents Word on the Curb.
Okay, and Curb the Enthusiasm. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
But I believe in it.
Yeah, I heard that podcast is ending. I think they changed their name from On the Curb to the Curb Your Enthusiasm podcast.
Yeah.
So we're sad. I already got the email and the YouTube channel. So.
But essentially using this as a platform to time capsule our like kind of ventures being young, queer, and black in New York City.
Yup.
Greatest city on earth.
Yup. Known for its trash.
And also because we have gotten the feedback multiple times from friends that we suck all the air out of a room when we're together.
Okay.
So we need to outlet our relationship.
So my thing though, because how we watched that video last night that John took of us with our legs or whatever.
Okay.
I'm under the illusion that everyone else is in it around us.
And to give context, we were watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Which turned into gay music video night.
Turned into pulling out a microphone that had an echo effect and turning it into gay music video night.
Well, yes.
Which all gays know, and people that aren't gay or don't do this, it's when a gaggle of gays get together, sit around a TV with a bottle or 2 or 3 or 4 of wine, and essentially pitch what they think is like the magnum opus of pop music video.
Yes.
And on the docket last Friday was FKA Twigs.
Bitch. MLK Twigs.
MLK Twigs. This episode is being recorded on January 19th.
Yes.
The day before MLK Day. So.
Oh, it's my brother's birthday.
And tomorrow's inauguration.
Bitch.
There's way too much.
We just live for like time capsule moments. We just live through TikTok getting banned and then 12 hours later coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we're at now. Trump is about to be president. So this is also a cue to that by just existing, unfortunately.
The fact that when TikTok got banned and then it came back 12 hours later, and on the banner, when you open the app, it said, thanks to the efforts of President Trump.
Anyways, okay, let's do introductions. Who are you? Where are you from?
Yeah.
And why should we care who you are?
I'll keep it short and snappy. My name's Bad John. Colloquially, people call me Bad John.
Yes.
Stems from an artist name because I sometimes dabble in the creative arts of music making.
Stream vengeance.
Girl, stream all of it. I know I need the revenue.
Oh my gosh.
My Spotify bank account looks like garbage.
You get checks for real?
I got one check one time. That was for
how much was it?
A whopping $4.23.
Okay, that's better than I thought you were gonna say cents, because I know that Spotify pays its artists dust.
Yeah, you get like 1/100th of a penny per stream. It's insane.
Okay,
but it can add up. Like when an artist gets a song that gets like 1 billion streams, I think they make $1 million.
That's crazy.
Is that how that math works? Or is it $100,000?
Is something there?
They make a lot.
You ever thrown out a penny before?
Thrown out a penny? Like in a pond?
No, are you ever cleaning and then you find a penny and you're just I can't?
The question is, do I keep change? And no.
What do you do with it?
I throw it away.
Oh my God, that goes against every economic principle ever. You can't throw money out. You can't.
Well, but how is it any different than I know we live in New York, so things get curbed.
Wake it up.
Things get curbed all the time. There's Instagram accounts is it called Curbed, or it's called
I don't know.
Yeah, there's some account Stooping, like Stooping NYC.
Oh, love that.
They'll post a picture of like an item on the street.
Ain't nobody stooping your fucking coins.
No, but I stoop a bag of pennies and post it online.
Submit it to the channel.
Come to but get the
Girl Scout cookies. Go and get your cookies.
No, but like Stooping NYC. I guess what I'm saying is there's already a culture of like throwing things out.
Okay.
If I'm throwing away a quarter, how is that different than like, I don't know, say like this like coaster, I don't want it anymore, so I throw it away. I'm technically throwing away $1.50. You know,
it's raw money. Can I say, as we're talking about trash and New York, one of my trashiest moments was when I went to the discount store and I paid for something that's worth $4 in quarters. I sure did. I showed up and I like had my little thing and I put them out and I was counting them and the guy was like, no, wait, that was only $3. And I was like, you're right. And then he got the math wrong. And then I was like, wait, fuck. He said, just go.
Wait, can I ask, was it a roll of quarters?
Not a roll of quarters.
Did you pull them out one by one?
Oh, yes, I did. You know I did. I was shaking them like peanuts.
The bottom seat if you had enough.
A gum wrapper falls out with it. I was just like, sir, this is the place to do this. But I famously do know how to roll quarters and pennies and all that jazz.
Know how to roll them?
I sure do.
I used to roll pennies when I was a kid.
Is it a black thing? Oh. Okay, well.
Okay, so that's me.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Okay, so I'm Alexandra Polk, Lexa P if you're nasty. That's my producer tag. I will be producing some of John's music in the near future. Just kidding. I don't do music despite my like luscious voice or whatever. I do writing. I am, depending on the setting, I'm better on the page. I was about to say that as I'm on a podcast, which is the opposite of a page. I moved to New York 5 years ago. I'm originally from Southern California, Thousand Oaks, stand the fuck up. That young 805. I'll never go back. And yeah, we met a little over a year ago. Yeah. Instantaneous click. Mm-hmm. Our friend Asha, shout out, fell to her knees. Asha wanted us to become friends, but not like this.
No.
Not like this.
Because famously, Asha and I were at a bar and she showed me your Instagram.
Okay.
And I have a drunk thing where I love to confess my adoration for women.
I can't wait to see that one day.
As I think special guest.
Special guest. Everybody clap your hands.
That's my roommate Eli. Shout out Eli, friend of the podcast.
Yes.
No, so we
by force.
I DM'd you.
Yes.
And this is so embarrassing. I DM'd you because I thought you were so pretty.
Thank you. And there's nothing embarrassing about the truth.
And I think I just literally said that. I said, hi, my name's John. I'm a friend of Asha's. I just think you're so pretty.
Cold call. Like, whoa.
My thoughts may have changed from that.
As if.
Yeah, but then I moved to the city. The first time we ever hung out one-on-one was Halloween 2023.
Yeah.
You were dressed as Vaporeon. I was dressed as Terry Joe.
Cut to us absolutely plastered on the subway.
Cut to us at
the Chinese restaurant.
Like a Chinese restaurant where the amount of distance between where we're sitting and the open kitchen is like 3 yards. Both of our wigs are off on the table. They did not want us in there. My wig cap is on. My wig is off. Yes. I think at one point, to try to make you laugh, I decided to start eating my food just with my face.
It was. Yeah. And then, because we had gone to that like weird house party. I don't know. New York is like, anything can really happen and it can take you anywhere here. I think that's like what people mean by the magic.
So that was actually something I wanted to talk about today.
Okay, talk about it.
Because I think something we wanted to like touch on today was just like the genesis of this podcast, like our lives in the city. Yes. And I thought about my track record of events today.
Okay, what does that mean?
Okay, so get this. I wake up in my boyfriend's bed, can't eat breakfast because his roommate and her are in the kitchen for like an hour. This morning.
Okay.
So instead of making breakfast, we go to a vegan breakfast place down the street to get Jamaican vegan plantain jerk patties.
Girl. Gassed up, shoddy.
I then come here to film a podcast that I will be leaving in an hour to get a tattoo of an angel from a non-binary tattoo artist in Bushwick,
so hot,
which I will be freshly wearing with you to the Eusexua rave under the subway at the Market Hotel. It's just you either die. You know the phrase, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. I'm like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the woke final boss.
Brooklyn trash. Brooklyn trash. Take your bins out.
Take your bins out. Take your bins. What do you think is the most like New York thing that's your most New York day?
My most New York day? That's a good ass question. Okay, so when I first moved here unemployed, hoping to get like a service job when I was like 22. 10 days later, the earth shuts down. Pandemic hits. I'm living alone in a studio, roach infested studio with no sunlight. Like, it was Stanford prison experiment, like up in that bitch. And so couldn't get a job, like an in-person job. And so 8 months later, I'm like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And then I get a job offer from Refinery 29 as a shopping writer. And I'm bringing this up because then I entered the world of influencers and PR events. And when you have PR events on the docket, on your weekly schedule, where I was going to events, champagne at the door upon arrival. I saw a wall of champagne glasses that where you took it and then you like went into the elevator. People were like, Alexandra, oh, I love your work. And that's when I bought a blazer, and I was just getting, those are probably my most New York days, is when I was like in Manhattan, because like Brooklyn does not look like New York. Like whenever my friends come to visit, I have to tell them like, we're not in Times Square. We're going to be like in Brooklyn.
But I think people, especially that don't live here, also get confused that Brooklyn's not like a danger zone.
Not anymore.
I told my dad that I was moving to New York, and he was like, oh, what part? I said Brooklyn. He goes, are you safe?
You know what's scary? The suburbs. Also Seattle at night. When the streets are empty. Like, the streets are never really empty here.
No.
Which, segue.
Okay.
What are other places you've lived in your 20s?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's a big part of being in your 20s. For some people, is like being nomadic and kind of experiencing life out of either a suitcase or like a studio apartment.
I think it's necessary. I famously am like, there needs to be a law that anyone growing up in Southern California needs to leave for at least 3 years. But continue.
But I mean, I've done in my 20s.
Where were you at 20?
At 20, I was at the University of Florida.
Okay.
But I was living in Plantation, Florida.
Girl.
Wake it up, girl. Wake it up. Yeah, I was living at the University of Florida, and then COVID happened.
Yikes.
So I lived in Portland with my mom.
Were you doing remote school in Portland?
Yeah, I
was 20.
No, you want to hear like something so dystopian, or like, what is it, dystopic?
I don't know. Dystopian sounds right. Yeah.
I got shipped my cap and gown, and we didn't even do a Zoom commencement or like a Zoom. What is it called? Not an inauguration. A Zoom graduation.
Girl.
And so my dad asked. He was like, "Oh, is there like a picture?" So I literally like Zoom call my dad wearing my cap and gown and play. Was it Papa's Circumstance? Whatever that like.
Black people play Lean On Me. Lean on me. When you're not. Damn.
Well, it was the only way I could convince him to send me my check for graduating. He was like, I need a picture in your cap and gown. So I just like saluted on Zoom.
But best believe that diploma is on the wall in his room.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
I don't know where mine's at. Anywho.
But yeah, so I did Portland, did like Zoom graduation.
Okay.
Lived in Seattle for 2.5 years. Hopped to Seattle, and then I currently live in New York.
And then now New York, so that's 4 places.
That's 4 places, and that's
7 years.
7 years. I'm 7 years into my 20s.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
I did cross country I did 2 cross-country moves in 2 years.
Think about our hometown divas that never left.
But you know what's crazy? They own homes now.
Bitch, and they got kids.
They own homes, have kids, and are married.
The
tax cuts they're getting.
Girl, and they got highlights. They got the balyages and the water wave, and they got jeans that fit correctly and V-neck t-shirts that don't show their stomach. And good for them. I have like one trad wife friend, Dominique, shout out. I can't wait to see you at your wedding this year. And she's happy. Yeah. She's one of the good ones. Unfortunately, I will say, like, I don't want to like be judgmental and like look down on people, but they're racist.
Who,
you know, the people, like a lot of people from my hometown that like don't leave. They don't leave because they like the comfort of like the all white living and like the pristine and like, I guess I get it. Like, do what you know and do what makes you comfortable. But I think during the impressionable ages of your 20s, you gotta get out there. You gotta see how big the world is. And I know, okay, I was thinking about this because money, right?
Talk about it.
So if money is not available, yeah, this is why.
Kill yourself.
Top titties. No, I think this is why people say you have to read books.
Because what?
Follow me. Because books will take you places in your mind. No, hear me out. Hear me out. Like, I'm reading this book, right, about like the French Revolution or set in the French Revolution, and it's fiction, but like I'm learning so much about that era. And then I was also reading this book that was set in Ireland, modern times. I didn't know about the Spire. Do you know about the Spire? Sir O'Reilly Wallace.
I have Irish middle names. That's the joke she's making.
Full Irish. But like, if you don't have the money to travel, I should not be talking about this, but that's just a belief of mine. Okay, so.
Wait, so if you don't have the money to travel, do you have the money to travel? Have you traveled?
What do you mean?
You traveled in your 20s.
Oh, girl, I've been around.
So you're preaching. You're saying, I've lived my life. If you can't do the same, read a book. You said go out there. Go out there.
I recently just found out about Black American princesses, and it is about like slightly vapid Black American women who grew up from like a little bit of an upper middle class background and might be a little like out of touch. And you know, I'm aware of my royalty status.
What does that make me? Mixed
American
Mixed American prince map.
But okay, when I was 20, I was at the University of Washington, so Seattle. I'm from California or whatever. And then, do we count it if I studied abroad in Rome? I'm really.
Girl. If we're playing that game, I took a gap year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That would count.
But I was 18.
Oh, then that was not your 20s. Oh, wait. I was 19 in Rome. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay, so I was in Seattle.
Lizzie McGuire.
And then from Seattle, while I was in college, my parents betrayed me, sold our child at home, which was like, fuck, man. And then moved to the Bay Area, which like SoCal and the Bay are like obvious rivals. I don't rep the Bay, unfortunately. Oakland, I love you. San Francisco, get out my face. And so after I graduated, I was like, I do not have the motivation to get a job right now, and I don't know what I want to do with my life. So I moved back to the Bay with my parents. So that was 1 year. Hellish. My family should never live under the same roof.
Well, and you bring up something interesting that I think is a question about your 20s.
What?
Have you at any point in your 20s confidently known what you were doing?
Yeah.
For real?
And we'll be back after these messages.
The word on the curb. The word on the curb. On the curb.
When I think about age mostly, I think a lot about my writing, and because like age and writing, I think it's kind of similar to like opera and how like your voice isn't fully matured. Don't they like not reach their peak until like 40 or 50 for like men?
Yeah.
Shout out Monet Exchange.
Figaro.
Please. I think I'm gonna be the writer that I want to be at like 35. Because I'm a late bloomer. I'm a slow bloomer. I've never been ahead of the game emotionally.
Well, but now they say like your 30s are your new 20s.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, is that real? Or is that just people in their 30s trying to like believe that they still have their wonder years ahead of them?
Well, I think in America, okay, because I watch a lot of Korean television. I watch a lot of Korean reality TV shows, and the people on the reality TV shows, like their dating shows, are like 30s. Like, and then I was really into Korean vloggers. And so when I was in my little vlogging era or whatever, like whereas a lot of the vloggers in America were like in their early 20s, late teens. In Korea, they were in like their 30s and shit. And like they go to college later and all these things. Like America is like so obsessed with young people being older. And I think that reflects in these MTV shows and shit where it's like 40-year-olds with wrinkles or like playing freshmen. Like, and so I think when people are saying your 30s are your new 20s, it's just being like, we completely overestimate people in their 20s.
Yeah.
And expect too much from them.
I think it's also interesting because it is like,
I guess from us,
especially in like the gay world, there is this like, I'll say the word myth.
Okay.
That like at the age of 30, like it's like gay death.
Oh God.
Gay 30 is straight 50.
And this is gay men.
Yeah, specifically gay men. To tack onto that in all realms, like sexual, appearance based, like successful, like there is this like expectation that your 20s are supposed to be like you're the pinnacle of your life. When I have always said I can't wait to be fucking 80. When I can't wait until like I can fart in public.
What you mean wait? What you mean wait, girl?
I can't wait.
Never forgetting that discount store or whatever we're at. You were picking up that spatula and that shit.
No. It wasn't a spatula. Okay, well, we'll do a quick sidebar. I do fart in public a lot, and I was one time with my boyfriend. We were at COS, the really nice like wool and cashmere store.
I don't know nothing about that.
And John, my boyfriend, was buying a scarf. And I decided to let one loose after he after he went to the cash register, and after I farted, not 15 seconds later, the carbon monoxide alarm started going off, and all the employees were like, "What's going on? This like never happens." And the alarm was right over where I was standing. Girl,
you are just a medical mystery.
The thing is to have a butt like mine and a body like mine, you got to eat a lot of protein. I eat a lot of eggs, a lot of chicken, and that shit will do a number on your intestines.
Glossing over all of that. You said, have I ever known like what I was doing in my 20s or when I felt confident? And I think you have to feel that. You're very successful. And you're like emotionally intelligent and like handsome. You have to feel.
I think I'm a different case.
Okay. Why?
I don't think I can be compared to the average 20-year-old, you know?
Okay. Why? Well, wait, what?
Because look at this, bitch. No, I feel like, but I think that also like that still goes back to like at some point like the like delusional sense of confidence just becomes innate.
Oh.
You know, okay. Like it's like you have to stop convincing yourself, and then you ultimately start believing yourself.
Oh yeah,
which is such like a gay wishy-washy way to say it, but
it is really crazy though. Like in your 20s, like or not in your 20s, but just in general, like you can just choose to like yourself.
Yeah, and you can certainly choose not to.
And oh girl, that is a choice I love to do. But like, I think unfortunately, it would. When I felt most sure of myself, it was like when I was reliant on like outside validation and like things that I could like say on paper that I have. Whereas if I was like stripped of my job and like stripped of all this stuff, then it's like, would I really like myself, you know?
Yeah.
But now I'm like unemployed and like I have my moments, but I think I am the diva.
Well, this is also
the dancing diva of Bed-Stuy.
The LA's premier
Asian icon.
Gotta get Joella on the podcast.
God, Joella, please come on the pod.
But I think everything we're saying is like hindsighted. Like this is me at 27, you at 27. Mm-hmm. This is like speaking on behalf of our like 20 to 26-year-old selves. Yeah. I'm certain 29-year-old me will have something to say about 27-year-old me.
That being said though, that split, like this is part 2 of the 20s 100%.
Yeah.
Me 25 and younger, girl, I love you. I don't know who that was. I don't know. And I very much feel like that person. Like, I mean, doesn't everyone kind of feel like really disjointed from their past selves, or do you feel pretty like consistent?
No, I would say there's definitely like a separation there.
Like, part of my like self-esteem sometimes is like I have to stop myself from calling myself like a fake bitch. I'm like I really have to be like, girl, what was that? I found out I was gay at 26. 25?
25. I thought I was gay when I was 8.
And then I was like so straight.
Yeah.
I was so straight.
Volleyball playing.
Volleyball, blonde highlights. Like,
you were straight and white.
I was straight and white. And now I'm gay and very black. And so I look at my past self and I'm just like, you fake hoe. Like, what was it? I'm like, psychosis?
I do think like the pipeline though from like trying to fit in to like a white cis straight culture into like a super black queer culture is not uncommon.
And the fact that I thought I was fitting in is hysterical. But okay, I wrote down questions.
Okay.
Let's take your binz out. Number 1, my first question is, what's the most embarrassing thing you've done in your 20s that you can say on camera?
I literally just talked about setting off a carbon monoxide alarm. I don't think I can. I don't yet have the credit with the viewer to like say anything more defaming than that.
Oh my god. Okay,
Other embarrassing things like
that was like, I guess, very 20s-esque. I can say something. It has
for
to
me.
Well, for both of us.
Okay, yeah.
And I can go first.
Yeah.
Is that rude? I ask the question and I answer it.
No, it's...
Okay, so I got my like first big girl job at like 23, and it was during the pandemic, so it was all on Zoom, and I'm very much an in-person person. Like, I feed off of people's body language, and that's like how I like work. Otherwise, I'm just kind of like maneuvering corporate world for the first time over Zoom was just a lot in my dimly lit apartment with roaches in the back behind the fridge. And so my boss, it was a relatively young company, but my boss was 40. My boss was 40. But you know, I didn't know she was 40. And when you're like 22, you think 30 years old. At least I did. So we're talking about New York, and we're talking about it's snowing outside, and we're talking about elderly people walking around and how it's dangerous, and how like at least in LA you don't see a lot of old people. And I was like, I just freshly moved there, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know, like I could not be 40 living here. I was like, I'm like so scared for old people. Like, can you imagine like walking down the stairs on the snow in your 40s?
I get called old now.
Oh. Nah. By who?
People that are 26 and younger.
Anyway, I was fucking mortified.
That is embarrassing.
I didn't know she was 40. It took me like a week to find out.
On the like the topic of corporate embarrassment, I do have one that I think is also of like what it is to be in your 20s.
Yeah.
I worked for my first like work from home job.
Okay.
And I was in New York at the time, but it was based in Seattle, the company.
Okay.
And maybe this is also about being 20s or about being like Gen Z, but I'm also like, if I'm at a job, I want to move up.
Okay.
I want to get promoted. I want to have more responsibility. I want to make more money.
We do have self-worth. Like,
yeah, like I'm not gonna, because I think generations ahead of us, it's like you work at the same job 40 years and you don't move at all.
My millennial coworkers abused.
But your 40-year-old coworker.
Oh, well, listen, she was running things.
But one time, so they sent out like an email blast about a position being open for a level above me. Okay. And and there was like the director that sent it, and I like replied to it, and I was like, I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm very interested in this, which was like pretty uncouth to do.
Okay.
And I send the email, and then 5 seconds later, I see pop up received. Jonathan Wallace has sent an email.
Reply all?
I replied all to the entire company that I was interested in the job. And the worst part, didn't even get brought in for an interview. Didn't even make round
They said
one interview.
They say he don't even know how to reply. But, you know, that shows this character building.
Yeah.
Character building is like, embarrassment is like the basis of character building, I would say.
What'd you do for your 21st birthday?
Oh, bitch, Vegas.
You're gonna sit here and say, if you don't have the money to travel, read a book, and you did your 21st in Vegas? Well,
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm now understanding.
Was it worth it?
No, we were way too young to be in Vegas. Me and my like 5 21-year-old friends. Also, I didn't associate with any men. Like, you have to go to Vegas with men that are gonna buy you stuff.
Yeah.
Also, like, I hated men. It's because lesbian, didn't know at the time, and yeah, Vegas is for like 35 and up. You want to have money. We didn't have any money. We'd go to the clubs. Everyone's old. And it was just, I looked hot though.
Yeah. Vegas is like, you either need to be willing to lose $5,000 or you have to be willing to
sexual favors.
Do sexual favors. Yeah. Which there's nothing wrong with either of those.
We are the most fun at our hotel room, honestly. And my friend threw up in her purse. And, you know, there's this picture of her. Face bloated, girl. By day 3, face bloated, and she has aviator sunglasses on and holding a limerita.
See, that's one of the sad parts about later 20s.
Hangovers.
Just like the reconciliation of when you have to kind of stop partying.
Well, and when you start reevaluating your relationship to alcohol.
When you have to start setting limits on how you like do certain things, it becomes a little humbling. It
becomes humbling, and like for me at least, because was like the only sheltered diva. I'm still the sheltered diva. Like, I forget that things are possible.
New York's premier sheltered diva.
The dancing sheltered diva.
Oh my god.
Iconic. Like, anything is possible. Yo, don't protect your children, okay? Like, my parents protected me so bad that, like, I didn't even think that, like, I could have issues.
Yeah, well, I'm
like, wait, alcoholism? No.
But then it's like the reverse one. I was also a pretty sheltered kid. Mm-hmm. Prude. Like, prude.
Okay.
I used to scold. In high school, I would, as a senior on prom night, I went to a junior hosted party and lectured all the juniors that were drunk.
And you weren't drunk?
And I didn't have alcohol for the first time until I was 18, and I was abroad.
I think I was 17. You lectured do they know who you are now? Do they know?
But it's interesting because everyone has their own relationship to partying. Yeah. You and I are no stranger to it. No. We're going to a rave tonight.
I believe in partying in your 20s.
Yeah, but then it gets like, I have certainly know people that party in their 30s, 40s. Yeah. And I don't know if that's just like a gay male thing.
I think gay stuff really
gay men are really riding their bodies to the limit.
This was my first summer like hanging out with like gay men, like the gays. I looked in the mirror in October and I immediately found the Retin-A under my bed. And I immediately bought one of those water bottles that counts how much water you're drinking. And I immediately downloaded a workout app. Y'all ran me into the mud, bitch. Oh my God. Talk about possibilities. I was like talking to my friend Frankie. Shout out Frankie. And she's in her 30s and she goes, yeah, it catches up to you. And I said, oh, wow.
Wowie.
Ooh, zooey mama.
For my 21st birthday.
What'd you do?
So I was at home in Plantation, Florida, because I have a summer birthday. And you know, when you have a summer birthday, and it's like, it's so fun because you get to, I don't know, like do whatever the fuck you want. But it was awful during a school year.
Oh, because you're August.
Yeah, because it meant like, I was always so jealous of the girls that got to come into school on their birthday.
Bitch,
and
tell me about it. The entire
school is like, happy birthday.
You didn't do half birthday?
That's so lame.
Guess what? My half birthday's New Year's. So yeah.
But for my 21st, my dad gave me a blank check and took me to the liquor store and said, you can get whatever you want. And
blank check?
Like a blank check's when it's like there's no limit on the amount of money you can spend.
You cashed a check?
No, it's a saying. It's like an idiom.
Oh, Oh, okay,
Like the
okay.
check is blank because
I didn't know
there's
that.
no limit.
I love that.
He was basically like, because I was moving into my own apartment for the first time in college.
Oh.
And he was like, let's stock you up, basically. And all that I bought.
What was it?
All that I bought.
Fireball?
Jack Daniels.
Oh my God.
I was obsessed. Honey Jack.
Those are good low key.
They were really good.
That's what made you lactose intolerant.
Is there dairy?
No, I'm just like, Jack Daniels will jack your stomach up.
Will jack you up. Yeah.
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 Drinking in my, oh my God. Like, it's so cliche, but like, 21, 3 days in a row.
Oh.
Wake up drunk, sober up, go back to the club, wake up drunk, sober up.
College was.
You were in Florida.
I had a friend. I'm not going to say their name.
Okay.
Could be him or her.
Okay. Wow, enforcing the binary. All right.
Well, this person is binary, but I'm just whatever. The longest bender I'd ever heard of in college. What was it? 13 days. Almost 2 weeks. And they went to class.
People were in class drunk.
People were in class
drunk and high. Lesson in your 20s. Sometimes when you're like, what is wrong with people? Why is something so weird? They're probably
drunk or high.
Like, people be high and drunk. Like, 13-day bender. Yeah, no, that was never me.
After 4 days, I have to like rethink my entire life for a week.
Yeah. The moment my life changed, the moment I could go to the clubs. Because I love nightlife. I have so much respect for nightlife. I understand the detriments of it and how like it's a slippery slope and it can be bad. But like people who shit on nightlife, I'm just like,
grow up.
Grow up. I believe that the club is. Wait, I thought of
this. The club isn't the best place to find the lovers in the bar. Is where
what
I
is that?
Go. Ed Sheeran.
Oh my.
And that's how I know I'm 27.
Was it? Is that the one that was your ringtone or something?
No, my ringtone was the Nyan Cat.
My ringtone was I don't know. I just went to the club and suddenly I was just alive, and also I was like a glow up baby. So like by the time I was 21, like I lost my baby fat and like I had gotten my first dose of Retin-A, so my acne was gone, and like I would just live. I would live.
Damn. The word on the curb. The word on the curb. On the curb.
Now at 27, I'm finally starting to feel like an adult. I'm sorry about it. Like I know people are like, oh, she's grown. Like, what you mean? Like, she's 20. Child at 20.
Oh, yeah.
Child. But maybe that's because I grew up in the suburbs.
Well, your brain isn't fully developed till 25, right?
And when that microwave went off, when my brain was cooked to perfection, I became gay. Everything just started.
What microwave setting do you think your brain was on when it was getting cooked? I think mine was on popcorn.
Mine was on, what is it, defrost?
Or it like weighs it out.
Mama, you know how glaciers melt and diseases come out? We didn't even talk about mental illness. That's another episode.
Speaking of mental illness.
Psych ward!
I think it's time to take a visit to the psych ward. So this is a segment called Psych Ward, S-I-K-E, Psych, where we basically just talk about one thing from this week that is gonna send us to the fucking Psych Ward.
And may I ask you, what sent you to the Psych Ward this
Girl,
week?
in true segue of like to be in your 20s. In your 20s, I feel like you walk this really fine line of in college you make drunk friends and you make plans and you never follow up with them.
Oh hell no.
In your 20s, your friend circle starts getting real small.
Yeah.
So you're like, this bitch that said she loved me at the club, I'm gonna get dinner with her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang out with her.
Okay, so where's this going?
I met this girl at this club called Gabriella.
Okay.
Really cool. Like I do really like her, and this isn't slighting her in any way.
Okay.
But we got a drink this past week.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about like our music taste, and I was like, you know, I like alt pop, I like rap, I kind of like whatever. And she was like, yeah, I love rap. We're talking about the Grammys, and we landed on talking about Doechii.
Okay.
And I love big Doechii stan here.
This is a Doechii podcast.
This is a Doechii podcast.
This is Doechii safe zone.
And she said the sentence.
What'd she say?
She said, I was watching the Doechii Tiny Desk, and I thought to myself, why she kind of sound like Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Oh!
Do not let white women talk about rap.
White woman?
Do not let white women talk about rap. She
looked you in the eyes and said that?
She thinks that wake up, A cup with your tits up is the same as what's the fucking
I never
to the groom,
Hamilton.
to the groom, to the bride. Doechii and Lin-Manuel Miranda.
That would
White women hear rap and think of Hamilton.
Because they find Hamilton acceptable, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess there were black people in Hamilton.
Wasn't Hamilton all about black stuff?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I think I...
Big old glug of wine.
I had a martini and I think I finished the drink.
Will you be seeing her again?
Yeah, she was really cool. I did like her a lot.
One bad take. That's a rough one, though.
One bad take, but it's... I feel hot in the head right now thinking about someone making that comparison.
You said check me in.
Literally.
Damn.
What's sending you to the psych ward this week?
What even happened this week? I feel like I had a relatively actually tame and somewhat stable week. Oh, do I want to say this on the podcast?
It's a safe space.
So I might be a child of divorce soon. To which I told this to John, and John went, so?
Girl, so is 50% of America.
No, it's rare that my parents are still married. But it feels like akin to a later in life circumcision. It's just it's
you're comparing your parents to your foreskin? The fuck?
My foreskin?
You said circumcision.
It's just kind of now, can't y'all just stick it out?
Yeah, at that point, how long have they been together?
30 years?
30!
I'm 30! And the thing is also just communication. The communication within my family makes me, it's talking about the psych ward, mama, which half of my family has been in. So when I say something's putting me in the psych ward, I mean it. No, I'm kidding. But
I've had family in the psych ward, so
yeah, it's wacko. My cousin actually might be manic as we speak. I need to text him back about his girlfriend.
Bring him on the pod.
Bring him on the pod.
Bring him on the pod.
February, come on, Caleb. But yeah, just family communication, lack thereof, and trying to beat it into my boomer parents' skull that there's only 4 of us in this family and none of us are talking to each other. It's just and as someone who was been in therapy for 5 years, so I know it can be annoying that I'm this therapized individual, but it's I was put in therapy by my parents and now I'm this therapized person that they don't want to deal with. And it makes me feel like I'm reverting back to a 17-year-old. Do you know when your parents make you revert?
Anytime I'm in my home space.
I'm why do I sound like a whiny 16-year-old?
Yeah, why am I rolling my eyes?
What? Why am I going to my room?
Why am I huffing and stomping up the stairs?
It makes me sick. And so that sent me to the psych ward, but
that's I feel like the kind of the bookend of the 20s is, especially with family stuff, you kind of get to relearn your relationship with your family.
It's wild.
And yeah, you get to start cutting people left and right.
And you got to prioritize yourself. And I live across the country. Yeah, we live out of state from our parents and stuff like that. And you don't talk to certain family members and it's weird. And then you miss them and it feels like they're dead, but they're not. So then you feel guilty about not talking to them. And it's just
yeah, mourning someone that's alive is weird.
Bitch. Banger.
That would be another part. Mourning someone that's alive.
Which is even more reason for you to watch, listen, and follow us on this journey of On the Curb.
Where every Sunday, take your binz
out. Trash day.
Trash day. Any last thoughts?
I think we did it.
Yeah.
This was the first
episode. We got to see a lot of characters.
Yeah. Spill some secrets that I might regret.
Some edits will be made.
Some edits might be made here and there. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you made it this far. And do we have an exit line?
Wake up, A cup with your tits up.
I just learned unbothered. No, wait, unfazed.
Unbothered,
unfuckwittable, unfuckable. And on that note, we will say goodbye and thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye.